Good morning, everyone. My name is Ron Franco, and I am the Senior Program Manager at the Princeton-Blairstown Center. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me on this beautiful morning. Welcome, newcomers. Welcome those of you who joined us for our vernal pool segment. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it inspired you to get out and go on adventures. This morning, I'd like to introduce you to the idea of nature journaling. So I picked this spot in my forest yesterday, and if you can kind of see behind me, it's where the power lines cut through my forest, and it's really ripe with activity for wildlife and birds. A lot of animals and species really thrive in this area where the forest is kind of interrupted a little bit, and if you could imagine, almost like a meadow runs through it. So there's a lot of squirrels and mice and bird habitat, particularly birds of prey, hawks, eagles. I heard a crow yesterday, and I also saw turkeys, wild turkeys here, 2 days in a row. And after I show you a few examples of how you might nature journal, I'll go back inside and I'll show you what I created from being in this exact location yesterday. Okay, but on the floor here next to me, on the earth floor, I have a couple examples. Let me show you how you can start this. One is very simple. I just have some blank paper on a clipboard. I find clipboards are really handy to have when you're out here, particularly if you feel like journaling out in the field. I have just a simple composition notebook right here. And then I also have a little bit more of a fancy journal that is leather bound, and it has like a nice little saying, wander, explore, discover, and it's lined. Whatever works for you, whatever you have on hand, will do the trick. And I specifically wanted to show you a couple things that maybe you'd like to focus on when you're out here nature journaling. So you can go as simple as today in nature, ... That's it. Let nature guide you. If you need some prompts, things like, I am grateful of nature. I like to kind of pose some questions and things to think about which are fun. If I was an animal today, who would I be? What would you be doing? Same for a plant or a tree. If you were a plant or a tree today, what would you be doing? Also, things like, what song did I hear in nature today? How do I play a part in all this? Another classic one is to think about your 5 senses. So, what am I hearing? I just heard a crow. I hear the wind. What do I see? Well, I see myself holding a camera and talking to you all. What do I feel? I can feel the ground on my knees a little wet. I can feel my hands are a little chilly. What do I taste? Well, I didn't really taste much just yet, but perhaps if you're in your garden or somewhere like that. What am I missing? Hey everyone, I'm back. It was smell. It was smell that I left off. I had touch and feel as 2 separate things. So let's go through it again. It's sight, you're hearing, what are you smelling, what are you touching? And also, a big one that I like to pose is your 6th sense. So like, what did you feel deep down somewhere in your soul or your spirit? Did you feel connected to nature? Do you feel calm, relaxed? Do you feel excited by the wildness and adventure? I know that's one reason I love coming out here. So again, you can come out for 10 minutes, you come out for 45 minutes, you could field journal, meaning like you can write and draw while you're actually out here. The technique I kind of like to use is come out, sit in a spot for a little bit, and just be real quiet, see what I observe and feel, and take short little notes in my notebook. And then I like to go back inside with all my colored pencils and things like that, and explore a little bit further. So once we're done, I'll move inside and I'll show you an example, again, specifically from right here yesterday, what I created. And hopefully this will inspire you to go out on adventures and kind of sit and reflect and think about nature. And it's a whole new world if you could just sit for even 5 minutes and just listen. All right, everyone, welcome back inside. As promised, I said we'd go inside and check out my dream journal. So this is my little creative space. This is the journal I chose to use because I had it at home. I have some Sharpies and colored pencils. You could also see I have a YouTube channel of just forest songbirds playing to kind of keep me in that mood of being in the forest. You might be able to hear them in the background. So here is what I came up with. Let me get everything out of the way for you. But if you can see on the top, Nature Journal, I have the day. It was Tuesday, March 31st. It was about mid-afternoon when I was out there. And you can see I just love to be creative and express myself and not really have any rules or expectations. But if you need some guidance, you can see I focused, the weather was kind of drizzly. I wrote that I love the rain. And I love the rain because the water is good for my garden. If you remember, I also mentioned I saw wild turkeys. And I just remember seeing them, and I know it's springtime, but it instantly reminded me of Thanksgiving. If you remember, I also heard a couple crows. And that made me think of Halloween. So it's funny that spring is blooming, but I'm thinking about the fall, which is my favorite season, actually. Remember some of the questions I asked you. How did you feel? What did you see? So I put being in nature today was super cool and fun for me. Nature made me feel relaxed and curious. And I put a little inspiration for tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm curious to go sit by a stream and see how I feel and see how that's different than today when I sat in the forest. All right, so happy journaling, everyone. Keep us posted. I can't wait to see what you come up with.